Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about the middle class and all the aspects that cover around it. For example, the diet,
energy consumption, and the income.
Here you see a nice urban area, but what you didn't know is that this area is called a food swamp, where there's a whole abundance of really unhealthy foods. High calorie, convenience stores where you can buy all those unhealthy good snacks like those candies or Ho-Hos or Twinkies. You may like buying them, but they're really bad for you.
When there's not enough fresh produce in an urban area, or even in a rural area, we get what is called a food desert. And basically that means that there's not any real food around, and fast food joints, such as the one in this photo, absorb the market, and people just go and rely on these for food.
Because the middle class makes a smaller amount of money compared to the upper class, it is easier for them to buy processed food, which is significantly cheaper than farm fresh food or organic food. So that's why Americans that are in the middle class always buy foods that are more processed, more unhealthy than actual fresh food, fresh fruit, and fresh vegetables.
If every other country in this world consumed as much energy as us Americans, we would need over 4 worlds to support us. However, the middle class has been making strides in reducing their carbon footprint by making use of solar energy. According to the Center for American Progress, the middle class, that they defined as households earning $40,000 to $90,000 in places such as New Jersey, Arizona, and California, have been adopting the use of solar energy the most. 60% of homeowners living in zip codes with a median range of $40,000 to $90,000 are installing solar panels. In Arizona, 80% of installations were from that income range.
First, order the data from least to greatest. Then, find the median or middle of your data, and that will be your Q2. After that, find the middle of the first half excluding Q2. Then finally, find the middle of the second half of the data, also excluding the second quartile, which all of these numbers will be your quartiles. Half the Americans make $50,000 or less each year. 28% make $100,000 or less. 11% makes about $150,000 or less. 6% makes $250,000 or less, and 2% makes about $300,000 or more a year.
Okay, this is the United States Poverty Guidelines chart. It is determined by the income per household and the amount of people per household. We found that there's an average of 2.6, and we used this equation up here that we got from the United States Department of Health and Services. So we found that to be below poverty with the typical 2.6 people per household, you'd have to make less than $18,166, and 17% of people, based off our data, live under that level. 2% are above the 250,000 mark, and the middle class by our range would be about 51% of the people.
So after you have found your quartiles, connect your lines to make your box and whiskers plot. As Ivan is connecting them right now to make his interquartile, and then you connect the minimum to the interquartile, and then the maximum to the interquartile too. Now for ours, our interquartile is much smaller than the last chord.
In conclusion, the middle class is making strides to consume less energy by installing more solar panels in their home.
Also, the middle class range is between 24,000 and 90,000.
and lastly, the middle class is surrounded by food swamps and food deserts and doesn't allow them to buy real fresh produce.
So they're fit.
Thank you for watching.